All right, we are live. Here we go. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Looks like we got somebody out there tuning in right away. Welcome to Michael Myers Monday. Welcome to the Halloween Daily News YouTube channel. It is Monday night, 10:31. We're a few seconds behind tonight, but it is 10:32 p.m. on Monday, September 21st, 2020. Happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. Cheers. What's up, Phil? Welcome back. Thank you for joining me tonight for another Michael Myers Monday. I do have a few things to talk about, and of course, I'm here. Anything you guys want to talk about, but I did bring a few more products in to show off and talk about tonight. I guess first, right off the bat, as we're waiting to see if some other people might join us, I'm going to introduce myself for anybody that doesn't know or might be watching this later. My name is Matt Arts, and I am the editor in chief of Halloween Daily News. And this is, I think, our sixth or seventh week doing this. There's Mitchell, my man. Been here every single week we've done this. I love it. I think it's our seventh week, Mitchell. If I'm doing my math right, but but yeah, this is Michael Myers Monday. This is our weekly live chat here on the YouTube channel where I connect with our readers, with our audience, with Michael Myers fans, and we just talk about the week in Michael Myers news and whatever we're wherever the conversation may go with the live chat. 7 weeks. Yes. Great to see you too, man. Thank you. Thank you. And again, thank all you guys for tuning in, for watching, like always. You know, that's why I'm here, is to connect with you guys in the most direct way possible. And today's a special Michael Myers Monday. You probably know today is Mr. Nick Castle's 73rd birthday. So on the rare chance that Mr. Castle ever sees this video, happy birthday from all of us here at Halloween Daily News and from all of our fans and audience members watching and the read the site. Of course, our love for Michael would be nothing without what Nick did in that 78 film. And I'll talk more about him maybe later on. I on Twitter and Facebook today, I reshared my 2018 interview with Nick, which was really all about Halloween 2018. And I caught up with him actually at Mad Monster Party in Charlotte. He had they had just finished filming, and he was there as a guest and was kind enough to give me a few minutes of his time. And of course, he couldn't talk too much about the film at that time, but he did give me an idea of the vibe on set and how nice it was and how much he thought it was very much like the 78 film. So, but I'll talk a little bit more about that a little bit later. What I brought down, I guess we'll get into the mask show first, because that's been the order we've been doing it. And you'll notice I switched. I figured even more fitting than the Happy Halloween cups tonight, drinking out of my Michael Myers mug. You've probably seen this. Got it from Spirit Halloween. I think I want to say probably in 2018. It wasn't last year because I actually got a different Michael Myers mug last year, and I haven't been to Spirit yet this year. I need to get on that. But it's technically from Resurrection, and it's the one that's got the many moods of Michael Myers, and it actually says that up here in red. You can't really read it, but it's got his face, technically from Resurrection, and it says excited, sleepy, confused, and jealous. You know, this is also how I consume my coffee every morning, but I figured for Michael Myers Monday, as I'm down here, it's still my traditional Michael Myers mango twist on the inside, not coffee. Might have coffee one of these nights, but this is the mango twist. And but I just figured this would be a little more fitting to be drinking out of for Michael Myers Monday, right, guys? All right, so last week, I showed the Boogeyman 78 mask, and the week before that, we had the straight 78, and I wanted to bring them both down here at the same time, just so you can make a visual comparison. And I want to let you know that thank you for the purchases. If you guys are watching these videos and then going to our shop, because I have to say the wall decor, the Halloween 78 wall decor that I was showing off last week, we're sold out. I told you we didn't get a whole lot, and we sold out. Also, those fear fresheners, the Halloween 78, we were supposed to get a whole bunch more of those. We only got a few, and we got a few from Halloween 4, Halloween 5, and Halloween 6 as well. But the 78s are sold out as well. So since having them here on the show, so I don't know if people watching this, I know looking at the analytics, a lot of viewers will kind of pop in and they'll watch for a few minutes and see what's going on, and a lot of people are finding the show after the live broadcast ends, which is fine. And welcome to all you too if you're watching this on Tuesday, Wednesday, or whenever. Let's see. Rod says hi. What's up? How you doing, Rod? Jenny Toons says 9 days till spooky month. That's right. Is it 9 days? Yeah, I guess it is. 9 days. Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait. Can't wait. Yeah, and tomorrow, speaking of birthdays, tomorrow, well, it's the first day of fall, which is extra fitting for us here because tomorrow, speaking of birthdays, is actually the 8th birthday of Halloween Daily News itself. We actually officially launched, I think we started the social media pages probably a few days before, but the very first article ever published on HalloweenDailyNews.com itself was published on September 22nd, way back in the year 2012. So 8 years ago tomorrow, which fittingly is, like I said, it's the first day of autumn. So again, happy birthday, Nick Castle, today. Happy birthday to HDN tomorrow. We're kicking it all off right here on Michael Myers Monday. Welcome, everybody. I see some more people have joined us. Let's see. We got Gianni says hello. What's up? Thank you. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Welcome. And yeah, everybody, I mean, don't be shy. Use the live chat. Comment away. And we'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. Like I said, I did bring down some masks, and I want to show these off because I don't know how long we're going to have them in stock. Like I said, we sold out of the other Halloween 78 stuff. So what we have is a few of these 78 masks. This is all Trick or Treat Studios, by the way. And you can find all these products, and I'll have links below, but you can always find anything I'm talking about in these videos at HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop. If it's an item for sale that we carry. So this is the straight Halloween 78, released last year. Okay, this is just one of them that I've got out on display. Obviously, the hair, you can style it. You can do much better job. This is like straight out of the box, straight out of the bag. Okay, still tagged and everything. And what I wanted to do is just give you a side-by-side comparison in this video. I'm sure you've probably seen it done, but this is the alternate Halloween 78, the 2018 Boogeyman, not the 2018, the 1978, excuse me. These are both, of course, 1978 Michael Myers. This one's the Boogeyman from the end of the film. This one is just what they call the deluxe 78. Okay, I'm going to set that there for just a second. I'm sorry you can't see. I'm going to try to make that a little bit better for you. Okay. So you can see there are some obvious differences. I mean, the biggest difference is probably the eye cuts, Also, I mean, in the paint, you can see that the 78 has more of a glossy finish, whereas it's more matte on the Boogeyman. And a big difference, if you look at the mouths, the 78 over here, this guy, his mouth, of course, has a mouth slit. The Boogeyman does not. And once again, the Boogeyman the idea is that the Boogeyman is from the end of the film. So over here you can see he has the neck wound, the stab wound, because the idea is that the Boogeyman is from the end of the film, the climax parts. But so we've got a few of these in stock right now. We don't have a ton. The Boogeyman is actually listed as a new for 2020 product from Trick or Treat Studios in their 2020 catalog. I just noticed he's got some hair hanging off of his nose. Let's clean him up. Again, these are right out of the box, not styled or anything, no touch-ups or anything, certainly no rehauls. This is exactly what you get. But I think these are great masks. These are both great masks. You can see them, you can see the differences. I mean, honestly, when I look at them, even looking at them on this video right now, and to my own eyes, I see more of William Shatner in the Boogeyman. I've said that when they first arrived last year, when I first looked in the box, my first reaction was, that one I see Captain Kirk. This one, I see Michael. I absolutely see Mike. But if again, it's just my opinion, and everybody's opinions are different. But these are both the 78 Michael Myers. This one's the deluxe 78. This one's the Boogeyman, previously released as the H2L Rod back in the day. And at the moment, as of right now, we've got both of these in stock for $60 each at HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop. You can see the differences. Also in the hair, this batch, they're not too different. The original batch we got last year of these 78s, the hair was much darker. It's a little bit darker. You can't see it, and I don't have the best lighting for this down here, but the hair is a little more matted on the Boogeyman, kind of like how it comes on the 2018s mostly. So we've got both of those in stock right now. Now, and again, they will not last long. Our 78s sold out last year. We got a few in stock this year, and they are going fast. Also, since we're all about 78 tonight, Nick Castle, I just want to remind you, I showed it off a few weeks ago, but we do still have the 78 Butcher Knife in stock right now. This thing's massive. It's the foam one. It's nice and thick. It's got a little bit of weight to it. So the Butcher Knife, the Boogeyman, the Deluxe 78, that's your 78 package. That's everything we've got in our store from Halloween 78 at the moment. Like I said, that badass retro wall decor, we sold out within the last week since I was talking about that last week. The 78 Michael Myers Fear Fresheners, sold out of them. We're going to be getting more, and the next thing we're going to be getting, I'm going to have it up for pre-order here in a few days, is the 12-inch Michael Myers 78 statue action figure that is coming from Trick or Treat Studios for the first time this year. And hopefully I'll be hearing soon when that shipment is going to be arriving to us. Again, we're not getting many of those, but we are going to have a few that we're going to be selling. And of course, I'm going to have one for myself that I will absolutely bring on here one of these Mondays and show you guys. Excuse me. All right, let's see. Jenny says, I'm excited to scare the crap out of children. Yeah, well, that's the best, right? I mean, that's my favorite thing about Halloween I take my son trick or treating, but trick or treating is more for me than anybody. I mean, I'm out there. I put on the full Michael Myers thing every Halloween, and I just kind of lurk. My son goes up to do the trick or treating. I kind of lurk at the street at the street end of the driveway, just kind of lurking around as Michael. And that's how I spend Halloween night. It's my favorite thing of all of the Halloween things is scaring people and people just freaking out, or sometimes people just wanting a selfie or whatever. Um, but never break character and always be Michael. Be like Michael. Thanks, Phil. So yeah, we've got all that stuff in stock right now. That's the product. That's the merch from the '78 film. If you want to be Nick Castle for Halloween this Halloween, so check all that stuff out right now at HalloweenDailyNews.com. Um, Speaking of trick or treating, you might have seen. I was going to talk about. There's a pretty cool story that's been going out there. A lot of people are talking about how to save trick or treating and how to do it, and still be socially distant and compliant with the health restrictions that are in place throughout the country. So there's a couple that I've seen a number of stories like this. There's a couple of stories about these chutes that you just slide the candy down, and it's 6 feet or longer, and the kid can kind of be at the other end of it and just hold the trick or treat pail or the trick or treat bag or what have you, and the treat just slides right down there. And there's a man in Ohio, a dad, who I think his name's Andrew Beatty. Uh, this story actually ran on our local news station. It got picked up. He's in Ohio. It got picked up everywhere. I've seen it everywhere. And the reason I mentioned his story, like I said, I've seen other people doing similar things. But this guy Andrew, when he's interviewed on the story, if you guys saw this, and again, I'll put a link down below this video after I'm done here. But in his interview, he is masked up wearing the Michael Myers Fright Rags face mask, which I just thought was totally awesome. Again, I'm all for, especially, anybody trying to do something to help, not save Halloween because it can't be canceled, but save trick-or-treating, especially the aspects for the kids that they might miss out on. And so anything being proactive like that is immediately a great story, if you ask me. But then to see that this guy is a Myers fan and a Fright Rags fan, but it's this one that he's wearing. You might remember I had mine a few weeks ago. See? The officially licensed. You probably can't understand what I'm saying right now, but it's the officially licensed Michael Myers face mask from Fright Rags. They also have one with the movie poster on it, but this is the shape, the Michael one. Anyway, that's an awesome story, and I'll share it down there. And there's also another couple that they are in Vegas, and they actually put together a similar shoot. Theirs actually is all kinds of mobile. It can go up, it can go down. They've made national news too. And let's see, I wrote down, they actually sent me a link, and I'll share that as well. They've been covered out there. They're in Henderson, Nevada, right near Las Vegas, and their company, you can follow them on Instagram, is Dead Man's Cove FX, and they are doing a lot to save Halloween and doing their part. And it's a similar thing to what Andrew had. It's a chute, a tube basically that the candy goes out to. And but again, Andrew had the radical Myers face mask. So I just obviously flipped out and loved that story even more when I saw that. Cool matte mask. Yeah. Thanks, man. Again, that frightrags.com. Um, you can check that out. Speaking of Fright Rags, um, they give us a little bit of news to talk about this week, and that's as good a segue as it gets here on the live show. Uh, Fright Rags. Well, first let's back up to last week. Their Nano Force figures. I don't know if you've been following that, but they announced 12 weeks ago, I guess, 12 or 13 weeks ago, that they were putting out this set of what they call Nano Force figures. And these are, if you know the little green army men that some of us remember as kids playing with, the plastic, they're all green. They got kind of a new life, I think, with the Toy Story movies. That's what they're supposed to be. They're 2-inch plastic figures, but instead of all green, they're either orange or black, of course. And so Fright Rags announced that they're putting these out. They call them Nano Force figures, based on Halloween '78. And you buy the set for $22, and it includes 12 2-inch scale solid figures. They're either orange or black. And then the last one, the 13th one, is a 4-inch glow-in-the-dark bonus figure. And of course, that was Michael Myers. That was the last one they revealed this past week. It was Michael Myers. He was the 4-inch glow-in-the-dark. And let's see, the 12 characters that they revealed throughout, they did one every week leading up to the release. And the characters, they had Laurie, Linda, Annie, Loomis. They had young Michael, Ghost Michael. Let's see, the Jack-o'-lantern, the Myers house, the station wagon, and what am I forgetting? Judith's tombstone they had. That's 10. I'm still forgetting one or two of them. I don't know. Maybe it was another 2-inch version of Michael, possibly. I'm forgetting one of them. So these are released every Thursday, and long story short, or short story long, whatever, they only 2,500 units were made, and they sold out within a few hours this past Friday. So if you got one, congratulations. They're going to be highly sought after. Fright Rags did post their astonishment that they sold out so quick, but they are going to never release that exact set again. That's just those 2,500 units, but they're going to do, I'm sure, other cool things with the Halloween license and the Nano Force figure technology. And they're all packed in reusable collectible box, highly detailed 3D digitally sculpted figures. And so for the collectors out there, congrats if you got one, because that was certainly unexpected that they would sell out quite that fast. I'm not surprised they sold out. Also, while we're on the Fright Rags merch, they did announce also this past week that they have a new Halloween 4 and 5 collection of t-shirts coming out. That's coming this week, this Wednesday, actually, which would be September 23rd. They're going to release some new shirts officially licensed from H4 and H5. And I checked them out, and I have to say, they got some pretty badass shirts. Now, my favorites, with the H4, they're releasing 4 shirts, okay? They've got one, which is, it's basically Jamie Lloyd, kind of the final shot of the film. You know, she's got the knife in the air, and it's got Loomis doing his now scream from the end of the film. Michael's kind of down in the corner. It's great, okay? And it's all like red and white, fittingly for, Jamie Lloyd. There's another one that's a black and white. It's basically an ad, or meant to look like an ad for the film airing on cable TV in the late 80s or 90s. It looks like it's even on channel 31, of course. But my favorite of the Halloween 4 shirts, because I just love this kind of, like my favorite Friday the 13th shirt I own is my Camp Crystal Lake t-shirt. And one of my absolute favorite Halloween shirts I own is this Haddonfield High t-shirt. And that's why my favorite of these Fright Rags H4 shirts that are coming out this week is a Vincent Drug t-shirt. It's awesome. If you don't know, Vincent Drug is the drugstore in Halloween 4. I think it's where Kathleen Kinmont's character works. And it's where Jamie finds her Halloween costume, decides to be a clown. She sees Eric Preston as young Michaels for just a minute in the mirror. And it's where Michael gets his mask. Vincent Drug. And so this is just a white t-shirt, and it's got like the Vincent Drug logo, what would be, as imagined by Fright Rags. And it's got a jack-o'-lantern in the corner. It's awesome. It's awesome. And it says the best costumes in town at the bottom. So it's not just a Vincent Drug Store shirt. It's a Vincent Drug Store Halloween shirt. So again, I love the deep cut shirts like that. I love the t-shirts like this, where I'm in the universe where Haddonfield High School is a real thing. I love being in the universe where Vincent Drug is a real thing. So those 3 shirts, and then there's 2 Halloween 5 shirts. And again, one is in awesome black and white, and it's the same theme as the other H4, where it's a TV ad, a vintage TV ad, a mock TV ad, basically, channel 31. And it's got the Don Shanks, Michael, But the one I'm probably going to have to ultimately have is this awesome Giant Cookies t-shirt. Remember the lady? Big cookies? Yeah. That lady, that logo, as seen in the movie, if you remember when Billy are like, cookie lady, Well, the geniuses at Fright Rags took that logo, took the blonde lady, the cartoon lady, the giant cookies that cover her breasts, the whole logo, and they put it on a bright blue shirt, and it looks radical. It looks awesome. I love it. So yeah, I'm probably gonna have to get the Vincent Drug and the giant cookies shirts. They all look great, honestly. They all look awesome. And like I said, they're going on sale this Wednesday, September 23rd, 10 a.m. Eastern time. They're probably gonna sell out, especially if how we're selling out on merch and how the Nano Force sold out, and just how things are going. Yeah, I think they're probably going to sell out pretty quick. So you want to get it in on that. And again, that's it's actually fright-rags.com. That's their website. Plug for Fright Rags. Happy to plug them because I'm a fan, I'm a customer, and they're also one of our sponsors for our Halloween International Film Festival. So big thanks to them for supporting us and supporting independent film in that way as well. So check out those t-shirts from Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, and Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, coming out this week. Love your shirt. Thank you, Phil. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. Let's see. Flamethrower Candle says hi. Hello. Welcome, Flamethrower. Thank you for joining us. Thank you all for joining us. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Also, this week, just today actually, kicking off this current week, we got a little bit of exciting merch news also for the collectors. It's kind of the collectors show, collectors episode. Mitchell says, have a great week. You too, man. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I'm not quite done here yet, but but yeah. Um, Today, if you didn't see, and I actually put a gallery up on HalloweenDailyNews.com, and again, I'll have links to everything down below after I'm done here, so you can hit refresh and find all this stuff easily. But NECA revealed the packaging for their Halloween 2 2-pack of clothed action figures. That's featuring Dr. Loomis and Laurie Strode. Laurie is decked out in her Halloween 2 Haddonfield Memorial Hospital gown. Loomis, of course, in his overcoat. Accessories include, they each come with a pistol, and Loomis has an interchangeable hand, one that has his lighter in it, lit, which is awesome. Again, these are NECA's 8-inch line of clothed figures, 8-inch scale. They're kind of like NECA's version of the old Mego, the classic figures. And they've put Michael out already. They put the Trick or Treaters this year from Silver Shamrock, the 3-pack, which I really need to get my hands on one of those. And now we know that as of today, NECA says that the 2-pack, the Laurie Loomis, for lack of a better term, the Loomis Laurie Loomis 2-pack is going to be shipping, they anticipate, early October. So that means in like a week or two, they're going to start going out. And then also, hopefully, throughout October, we'll be finding them in stores like Target. So I can't wait to get my hands on that too. As you know, this is the very first Laurie Strode from the original continuity that's ever been officially licensed and done. The first ever Laurie Strode ever was the 2018 Ultimate. This is Halloween 2, the 81 Laurie. This is authorized likenesses of Jamie Lee Curtis and of Donald Pleasance. And this is only the second officially licensed Loomis figure that I know of ever. The only other time I can think was, back in the day, the Loomis and Michael set, which is kind of become a holy grail for some figure collectors. I see. I don't own that one, but I see it at cons every now and then, and it's going for insane amounts of money, and it's awesome. And I'd love to have it one day. But that's the only. So I'm, the fact that we have a Loomis, period, is just mind-boggling and awesome. And if you have the clothed Michael from H2 that NECA has already released, you got to get these two. You can do the whole hospital scene, complete with the bloody mask, everything. It's awesome. So they released photos of the packaging today. Again, it's a window box. It's nothing. Originally, they had said that the box was going to kind of look like Haddonfield Memorial Hospital when they originally announced this summer. I mean, the I guess diorama backdrop is the hospital, of course. I don't know that the packaging on the box itself really does much to resemble that. I think that plan probably got put aside. But yeah, it's all you want. It's a window box. It shows off the figures. It shows off its actual cloth clothing. And on the one side of the box, you've got Loomis on the right side, Laurie on the left side, and then on the side of the box, it corresponds. It's got a close-up of each of their figure face on each side that corresponds. And then on the back, it does say emergency, like it's an emergency room. And it's got the figures used to recreate a few scenes with the awesome photography that NECA always has on their packaging. But nothing too, too crazy. I think the excitement here is clearly the fact that these two figures finally exist and are going to be out there in the world. Because we've never had an H2 Laurie. We've never had an original continuity Laurie. I mean, this is technically still Halloween night, still that night in 78, according to the original continuity. And we haven't had a Loomis in years. You guys could probably tell me better. So that packaging came out, and you can see it as well as all of the previously released photos. Also, the one accessory I didn't mention that comes with that is the Halloween 2 pumpkin skull pumpkin jack-o'-lantern as an accessory, which looks amazing. So you can see all that right now. It's on our site at HalloweenDailyNews.com, as well as links to go and pre-order that set if you want to do that. So that's everything we've got. Okay, we've also got a small little story, not really a story, but maybe if you're doing what I said, and I don't know if you are, but I'll recommend them again. Go watch Sean Clark and Christopher Nelson's awesome video show, The Thing with Two Heads. Some of you probably are watching them, and also watching this might be noticing a fun little back and forth. But yeah, they, of course, I love their show. I've talked about it on here before. I've quoted some of their interviews with Nick Castle and James Jude Courtney here and on Halloween Daily News. And so they were nice enough to give me and Halloween Daily News a shout out on one of the recent episodes, which was awesome. And so, I'm a fanboy for them. So to see them give us a shout out is great. And just to consider those guys buddies and friends is pretty amazing. So go watch their show, The Thing with Two Heads. Sean's YouTube channel is Malfunc Sean. That's Mal FUNCSEAN. So go check them out and look for the Halloween Daily News plug and comment on their video and say, hey, I'm watching because Matt at the Halloween Daily News sent me over here, and they'll love that, and that'll be great. And then maybe they'll give us another shout out, and we can keep the circle going. So on one of their recent episodes, if you're following them, you know this already. And if not, I'll just go ahead and tell you. They did their rankings of our favorite horror franchise, which was very fun to watch. And they brought in Zach Myers, who is, I learned his real name is actually Michael Myers. Zach's his middle name. But he's a huge fan of the franchise. They brought him on, and the three of them kind of did their countdown of their ranking of their favorite films in the franchise. And they started with their favorite, which was, of course, 78 for everybody, and worked their way down to their least favorite, which, is debatable depending on where you stand. So I watched it. Of course, I watched it with great interest, and I loved it. And they made a 2-part episode about it, and it was a lot of fun. And a lot of their points are hard to argue, and they have great points, even where they disagree with each other on some things. And so it got me thinking about my own rankings, and I'm not going to go there tonight because, I love all the films, as I've said, obviously some more than others. But what I did do was it got me curious because, they were obviously had agreed ahead of time, we're going to be respectful and everybody can have their own opinions. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's about here. That's what I'm always saying is, whatever your favorite film is, we all love all the films, and we all love Michael Myers and these characters. So, you can't hate on somebody for what they love. But I did go to our Halloween Society Facebook group this week, actually just the other day, because I was curious after watching their, and so I just asked everybody in that group, which, by the way, if you aren't part of that group, and if you're ever on the old fake book, look us up. It's the Halloween Society. That's the official Halloween Daily News group. It's open to anybody. It's a private group, but we'll certainly accept you and let you in, and that's another way to stay in touch. But I went on there and I asked the members of that group for their rankings because I'm just curious. And we didn't get a ton of responses. This was only yesterday when I asked. But I figured I'm going to go ahead and read their responses, and I'm just going to go through these quick. But what you'll see and what I loved is that much like with that episode, those two episodes of those guys ranking the episodes, you know, there's no wrong answers here. And I love the diversity of their rankings. And so yeah, we didn't get a whole lot. So I'm just gonna go through these, and everybody was kind enough to comment on this in the group. So I'm gonna give them each a shout out, and then I'm just gonna give you their rundown, starting with number one, which is their favorites, and then going to least favorites. And you guys can chime in with yours. Like I said, I'm not going to give my rankings right now. I think it's enough to say 78's number one. I love all the others. At some point, maybe I can commit to that. But when it comes to things like that, a lot of times you know, I feel like it's too forever. So my rankings is how I feel today or this year or this month. But certainly 78's number one. And Rockford J agrees. John Carpenter's 78 is his number one. And then just going down the line, his number two is actually 2018, then Season of the Witch, then Halloween 2 81, then H2O, then a tie between Halloween 4, 5, and 6, then Rob Zombie's Halloween, then Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, then Resurrection. Okay? Rockford J, he was the first one to. Rosa Valdez, she says Halloween 78, Halloween 2, Halloween H2O, Halloween 2018, and Rob Zombie's Halloween 1. And that's where her list ends. So I guess the others just don't even make her ranking. Brendan Teague, he ranks 78 number one, followed by 2018, H4, H5, Rob Zombie's H2, H2O, Original H2, Curse, Season of the Witch, Rob Zombie's H1, Resurrection, and in his last place, he's got the producer's cut of Curse. So Brendan likes producer's cut significantly less than theatrical, significantly less. Glenn Parson comments, and he prefaces this saying, I like them all except Resurrection. And so that's obviously his last place. His first place is 78, followed by Rob Zombie's Halloween, followed by Halloween 4, then Rob Zombie's H2, then Curse, then the original H2, then 2018, then H5, then H2O, then Season of the Witch, then Resurrection. All right. Like I said, everybody was kind enough to respond. Justin Wilson Sr. says H4, H2, H3, H5, H6, H1, H2018, H2O, Resurrection. Okay. Again, there are no wrong answers here, and this is why I'm reading this to you guys. Brandon Leonard says Halloween, Halloween 2, Halloween 4, Halloween H2O, Halloween 3, Halloween 6, Halloween 2 Zombie, Halloween 2018, Halloween Zombie, Halloween 5, Halloween Resurrection. Okay. Rob Stapleton says Halloween 78, H2 81, H4 Season of the Witch, H5, H6 Producer's Cut, H 2018, H2O, RZ H1, and then lastly he writes Resurrection and RZH2 don't exist. Okay. That's his ranking. John Lamb, H1, H2018, H4, H2O, H2, H5, Resurrection, H3, RZ1, H6, RZ2. Bert Thomas says H1, H281, H4, H2018, H2O, H5, H6 Producer's Cut, H3, RZ, H Remake, RZH2, and H Resurrection, H8 Resurrection. Brent Benavides says Rob Zombie's Part 1, Halloween 4, Halloween 78, Halloween 2018, H2, the original, H2O, H5, Rob Zombie's H2, H6, Resurrection, and H3 on his last place. Michael Flores says Halloween 78, H2 81, H2O, and H5. And that's where his list ends. So let's see. Karen Marie. Her response is Halloween 78, Halloween 78, Halloween 78, Halloween 78, Halloween 78, Halloween 78. So that's where Karen stands on the matter. Clearly, nothing else matters other than the original film. And I agree, it's pretty untouchable. It's easily number one. It's in a different league than everything else. But I certainly can't disregard. I mean, it's my favorite horror franchise by far, and so connected to the greatest day of the year, the greatest time of year. Back to these, only two more guys. Raymond Brown, his countdown starts with Halloween 78, followed by Season of the Witch, H5, H2018, the original H2, H2O, H4, Curse, Rob Zombie's H2, Rob Zombie's H1, and Resurrection. And David Cowan, I think. That's, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Sorry to any of you if I mispronounced your name. David Cowan says Halloween 78, Halloween 2, 81, H2018, H4, H6, H2O, RZH1. It says HZH1, but I'm pretty sure he means RZH1, H5, H3, and in last place, RZH2. So, like I said, I mean, 15 people in the last 24 hours responded. That was their rankings. And it just proves what I was already thinking and what I wanted to see for myself is, it's all over the map. It's all over the map. I mean, some people, most people put 78 at number one, but not everybody by any means. Some people put Season of the Witch way at the end, and other people not so much. Some, it's just all over the place. And that's one of the things I love about this franchise and this fan community is that it is so versatile, this franchise, the continuities. I've talked about the choose your own adventure aspect of this franchise and how unique that is. So if any of you guys that commented on that end up watching this video, thanks for commenting. If you're not a member of the Halloween Society Facebook group, go join, find my post, go ahead, comment. Maybe I'll read some more of those comments next week. Again, I just think it's really interesting, everybody's individual countdowns and how, one person's Season of the Witch at number 2 or 3 is another person's Revenge of Michael Myers at 2 or 3, and there's no, as I've said before, there are things that I love about all of the films. And if I'm going to nitpick, there's things I could nitpick and dislike about all of the sequels. None of them are perfect, except for John Carpenter's Halloween 78, which is a perfect horror film, if you ask me. And it's a perfect Halloween film, both franchise-wise and Halloween as a lifestyle and as a holiday, in regards to how it treats and immortalized that holiday. And really that film, more than anything, linked the holiday to horror. There's horror marathons now, I think in large part because of that franchise linked to the holiday, and it brought other horror into it. And of course now, if you read any of the stories we do in the movies section of HalloweenDailyNews.com, you're well aware, like I am, that Halloween horror is now absolutely its own subgenre. I mean, the same way that haunted house movies is a subgenre. It is, Halloween horror is its own thing now. Far beyond just this franchise. I mean, there's so many Halloween horror movies. There's so many Halloween movies when you just start looking at all of them from the beginning of filmmaking. But specifically Halloween horror, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how many Halloween horror movies, and so many in recent years. And and I mean like within the last decade since the release of Trick or Treat in 2009, I mean, there's been so many Halloween horror movies that have been released. There were a lot before, more than you think, and one day I'll do like an exhaustive list. But there's been so many in the last decade, and I love it. I love it. But nothing tops Michael Myers and the Halloween franchise when it comes to Halloween horror. It kind of created that subgenre of horror, um, and probably 10 other subgenres if we're going to get right down to it. So anyway, you guys give me your rankings. Give them down in the comments if you want. I'm curious to see. Like I said, maybe we'll talk about them more another time. So how's everybody doing tonight? Mitchell says, if John didn't admire David Gordon Green, we would be still waiting. Yeah. Yeah, I think John absolutely, yeah, I mean, he's happy to say that he's, just happy to get those checks and whatever. But I do think, whether it was ceremonial or whatever, it was a great move for Jason Blum and Malick to go to Carpenter first. I think as soon as this thing was announced, he was the first name attached to it. And I think having him do the score invests him in a way that a lot of times executive producer titles are just that. They're just titles, especially when it comes to the creator of a franchise in a lot of cases, in these cases. But I think having him do the score really made him a part of that movie and this new trilogy of films in a way that he's not been a part of anything since Halloween 2 and Halloween 3, where he was still working on the music. And of course, even in those films, Alan Howarth was, starting to be a little involved on the soundtracks. But I think having John back doing the music that's absolutely the cherry on top of just having new Michael Myers movies right now, if you ask me. That's the best thing about it. Yeah, game changer. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, his score was, that's what really, I think, ultimately in people's rankings, when you do see 2018 coming up so high, which the more I'm thinking about it, I wrote a glowing review after I saw it in 2018. And somebody even commented, sounds like the review was written by somebody that works for Blumhouse. But I mean, I'm not going to lie. I loved the movie. I loved it. I thought it was, a great sequel. I thought it paid homage in all the right ways. And again, was it 100% perfect? No. Could I pick apart some issues? Sure. But yeah, I mean, I loved it. I thought it was, well worth the wait. And yeah, my mind is blown with the possibilities of where I think Halloween Kills is going. Some things that I've heard, some things I kind of know, other things that I have an educated assumption about. But, you never want to be too assumptive about any of these things because, as I've said before, things could still change with this film, even though it's done. I mean, we're still a year from its release, a little over a year. Which, by the way, this was one other thing I was planning to talk about tonight. And I was just thinking about this today, thinking about Halloween Ends and where it's going to film. Because it's sounding more and more like it's going to be shot in early 2021, which makes sense. That's when they shot the 2018 film, was in January and early February of that year. But I started thinking where, because of course Halloween 2018 was shot primarily in Charleston, South Carolina. That's where David Gordon Green and Danny McBride are based nowadays. For Kills, they moved up to North Carolina, to Wilmington, North Carolina, which has been the site of many horror films over the years. So I'm thinking, and again, this is just speculation at this point, but where Halloween Ends might film, and just trying to look at things, because here's what I'm thinking about too. tomorrow, Scream, the new Scream film, Scream 5, we'll say, begins filming in Wilmington, where Halloween Kills shot. Now, how are they doing that? You're probably wondering, because we here in North Carolina, we're still in phase 2.5. Okay. Movie theaters have not opened. Most things are opened on a very limited basis still. So, how are they going to film? Well, what I'm hearing, primarily the film is going to be filmed in a studio. There's a very large studio, working film studio in Wilmington. It's called Screen Gems. It's been there for decades. Lots of stuff has been shot there over the years. Lots of stuff you would recognize. I'm not going to go over all of it right now. But my point is, I think that's makes a lot of sense of how Scream can start filming tomorrow, September 22nd, and in a state where we're still under technically phase 2.5 of reopening. I think it's going to be primarily on in a studio, on a sound stage, more or less. Um, you know, which is completely realistic and conceivable and makes all the sense in the world considering everything going on in the world. And then I don't want to get on a Scream thing, but you could even start, brainstorming where the story might take place, that they could do it inside like that. And that doesn't mean it'll look inside. I mean, Swamp Thing was filmed there. They created an entire swamp there at that same studio. Okay, so, and I'm sure that Kills probably filmed some scenes at that studio. I have no doubt. If you're shooting in Wilmington, you're probably using it at some point. They've been there for decades. So, and I don't know where the reopening really is in South Carolina right now, and where any of this is going to be in a few months when January hits. But just wheels turning, I'm thinking it's a good chance that Kills might come, Halloween Ends, might come back to Wilmington this winter, after the holidays, probably in January, and shoot at Screen Gems. Because there's studios in Atlanta too. Screen Gems actually has their second studio there in Atlanta. But David Gordon Green, Danny McBride, they have history here in North Carolina. They're not far from here where they live, where their family is. I do think it's a very real possibility that they come back up here. If not, I think it's going to be right back down there in Charleston, South Carolina. And I think whereas the tax incentives are always going to, play a factor, the pandemic is going to play a factor this year too. So, but just thinking of again, things are ramping up here in North Carolina as far as filming, and I think a lot of that is due to Screen Gems and facilities like that being available where they can follow protocols and still get shooting done. And also finding projects that are gonna, work in this new world and be able to be filmed in this new world. I don't know how they're gonna do it. And I don't have any scoop on that right now. This is not I like these broadcasts because I feel like I can just kind of talk to you guys and we can brainstorm together. It's not on the site, so it's not news, but I feel like this is very possible that it's going to come back here to Wilmington and shoot at Screen Gems for the most part during the winter. We'll see though. I don't know. I'm looking forward to that. That's just me speculating. Mitchell says, quick tip on Age Kills, Cameron has a huge connection to Lonnie. Yeah. Well, we know from the 2018 that Cameron is Lonnie's son, Cameron Elam, and they talk about that. Ray talks about Cameron's dad, Lonnie, and but you might be talking about something even deeper. But we know the father-son relationship, absolutely, and I can't wait to see that because again, we remember how dicky Lonnie was to Tommy, and Cameron was kind of dicky to Allison. So the dickiness runs in the family. Is somebody going to get what's due to them in H Kills. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. 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 Well, we know. Yeah, and that much I've known. I don't think that's a spoiler or anything to say that that's a father son relationship. I mean, he's credited as Cameron Elam. They, like I said, Ray mentions in the 2018 film that he talks about peyote. I think doing peyote with Lonnie back in the day. So it's clearly going to tie in. I mean, the the mob of Haddonfield is going to come out, and I've talked about it before that was the working title for HK. The working title for Halloween Kills was Mob Rules. So I think it's going to be a bit of mob mentality of, the residents of Haddonfield and those that have something to be invested. I'm curious to see if they do something unexpected with the dynamic of Lonnie and Tommy and how they were 40 years ago, versus how they are now. How that night affected them, and how this night, meaning the 2018, as in the present day, which is present as of 2018, how that affects them. So I'm looking forward to that. Having Lonnie in this, I think, is going to be great, and learning more about how he still a dick, basically, or has he changed his parenthood, adulthood, any of that changed him, or is he still kind of a dick? I can't wait to see it. And Anthony Michael Hall as Tommy, as I've said on here before, he looks totally badass. Like he's going to be ready to kick some ass. So yeah, that's what I've got for this week, guys. Next week we'll have a few things to talk about. Of course, if you're following, if you're a collector of the Steel books, you're going to want to get that Best Buy exclusive. You probably already pre-ordered it. If not, go to HalloweenDailyNews.com, pre-order it right now. That's coming out next week. The Halloween 78 Steel book I'm talking about. And it also includes a digital code, we learned. So I think that's the first time that H78 is, you can get the digital for that, I think. So, but we'll talk more about that next week. Also next week is the 25th anniversary of Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, the 6th film, part 6. Once upon a time, it was going to be Halloween 666, the origin of Michael Myers. Those of you that have seen the producer's cut, the bootlegs released over the years, know all about that, I'm sure. But so maybe we'll talk at length a bit about the curse of Michael Myers some next week. And then we're into October. We're into our month. We're already into our season. Tomorrow it's official, and actually in just about 25 minutes, East Coast time, it's going to be midnight. It's going to be officially autumn, officially fall, September 22nd, officially HDN's 8th birthday. So Mitchell says that new POV kill cam that DGG gets to use will be perfect on an IMAX screen. Yeah, you've mentioned that before, and it's definitely got my curiosity up. I can't wait to see what David has up his sleeve and this new POV. I think, yeah. I mean, your mind starts spinning of how are they going to take that iconic POV shot from the original film and put their modern spin on it. I can't wait to see that. Kill Devil Hills, that's right. Yeah, we don't have an IMAX screen down here, unfortunately, so I'm gonna have to travel out of town to see it on the big screen. But of course, I'll be making the trip to see it. I'm sure I'll be seeing it. I saw 2018 3 times in the theater, so I'm sure HK will probably be. But opening night, I'll probably be right up the street here in Kill Devil Hills, assuming it's playing in theaters, including our theater up the street, because, like I said, as of right now, it's not even allowed to be open in our state. So, yeah. They spent 3.2 mil on the transfer of the film. If that doesn't say a big orange heart for real Halloween fans, yeah, yeah, that's a great vote of confidence that Universal would do that, fork out that kind of money to make it IMAX. Um, I do, like you said, I do think that's a big orange heart to the fans, and just some, you know, knowing that everybody's going to be pissed that with the delay. I agree. That's something for the fans to at least say, well, at least now we're going to get it in a format that none of the other films have ever been released. And who knows? Maybe we get a new edition of 2018 between now and then with the original ending in there. Again, I know I'm always plugging Christopher and Sean's thing, but they talk about this shit all the time. They talk about the Halloween franchise specifically, and Christopher talked a little bit about the original ending, not really spoiling anything, but long story short, he loves it, and I've heard James Jude Courtney myself. I've talked to him about the original ending. He loves it. He they both want it to be seen. Um, but they both also understand that they kind of want that film to stand on its own and that ending to be what it is right now. So we might have to wait until after this trilogy is concluded before they release the all the bonus features. All right, everybody. Wow. It's been over an hour tonight. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. And if you've stuck it out this long for the last hour and 10 minutes or so, then congratulations. I'm impressed. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. As always, I look forward to these chats. I look forward to this again. I feel like this is kind of an informal time for me to sit here and chat with friends, talk about fun shit that we all like talking about, and just recap some of the fun Michael Myers stuff going on out there, which is, we all need a fun escape, even if it is a serial killer. It's a fictional serial killer, at least. We could be celebrating worse things right now, for real. We're celebrating our passion and our fandom, and there's nothing wrong with that. And again, this is our time. This is our season. I think the hype machine is gonna kick in here soon in a few weeks. I think we're gonna probably get something. Hopefully a little teaser, maybe a poster, maybe just an image. I don't know. Maybe a really cool set photo. I don't know. Our first full look at Michael. So the thing start taking pre-orders for those HK masks, which we know are going to be the hot item next year, which would have been the hot item this year. And we know this. But now we have it to look forward to next year. And then the HN's mask the year after that. I mean, what are they going to do for that mask? How is that going to be different? Art is art, no politics. Hard love, movie love, Matt. Yeah. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. Art is art, and Halloween is Halloween. Awesome, guys. Well, again, if you've watched this and you've watched the whole thing, thank you for this marathon. If it's your first time watching, come back next Monday. And in fact, subscribe to the channel. I'll go ahead and say this now. Subscribe to the channel. Like this video if you don't mind. That goes a long way with pushing us up. Drop some comments below if you don't mind. Tell me what you want to talk about. Give me your rankings. You've all got them. I know. Give me your rankings. Give me your comments on the Curse of Michael Myers. We can talk about them next week. And let me know which of these collectibles you're excited for. What you're getting this year to add to your collection. Which new mask are you adding to your collection and using in your trick-or-treat stalking this year? Have a good week, Mac. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Mitchell. I've been here every week. Phil, you're a regular viewer, all of you guys watching, everybody that participated in the Halloween Society questionnaire last night, thank you guys again. And like I said, subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave us a comment, share the video, make plans to join us every week for Michael Myers Monday live, 10:31 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 7:31 p.m. if you're out there on the West Coast. If you're in between, somewhere in between, in the rest of the world, you tell me what time it is when you're watching this. Thank you all, and find more about everything I talked about, as always, every day at HalloweenDailyNews.com. Happy Michael Myers Monday. I'm Matt Arts for Halloween Daily News. Thank you guys for watching. And cheers.